Look, if you struggle to deliver your AI automation, if you are maybe working with a business, you've already collected some payments and you're starting to work on a project and you seem to just not get it, you cannot deliver it out. And perhaps it's not even the lack of your technical skills. Maybe you're a very like a talented developer and perhaps you know a lot about building in A10, building in Make, building in Zapier, building in Claude Code, maybe even no coding, but you're just struggling to deliver. In this video, I'm just going to quickly share with you a lesson. I mean, what I have learned as I was delivering one of the one of the hardest projects that I've ever had in my AI agency, and what has helped me. And we are gonna use a bit of first principle reasoning. We're gonna just look more in a more broader perspective rather than just in our technical skills. My name is Jan, and on this YouTube channel I just share a lot of things about AI agency and my business, and just documenting the journey, not pretending to be some guru 2000 online telemarketer scammer or however you guys call these people these days. I'm literally just a couple steps ahead than perhaps you, and I'm just going to share some things that will be helpful to you. So let's just quickly start. So obviously, I think if you are in the space, you're aware that there was this MIT report that said that 95% of generative AI pretty much projects are failing, and it's very hard to make AI work. And I think we're gonna agree on that there is a lot of people who have technical skills, so they actually do know how to build the project technically. Here we are talking about your NA10, here we talk about your code, and you just know how to build technically. But when you actually with your skills approach like a proper business, and you just pretty much take some money and then you go about and you want to deliver the project, you very often find that even if you're a talented person, it's very just like hard to actually deliver on the project, and it's not working. Like maybe you have some experience in delivering maybe voice agents and you were just trying to deliver the project and you were iterating, but the AI sounded very bad, or maybe you were developing like any other automation and you were just struggling. So if that's describing you, let me literally tell you how I have overcame this problem. So look, there are two types of automation. So let's just say let me just here type write AI. So if you're selling AI to a business, right, let's say you've already collected payments, there are only two ways you can actually go about like using AI. It's either something new, so it has never been done before in a business, or you just replace. And what I can tell you, that it's significantly easier to replace something than to reinvent the wheel. Because the problem with creating, it's not that it's impossible, in my opinion, to create something new, but it's significantly harder to create real business value creating something new than if you were to just go and replace something that is already working, but just use the AI. Because obviously, as you know, AI is very good at pattern recognition and it's very great at just recreating things. So what you can literally do is, instead of just using your AI skills, like for example, here we have a lot of like probably very experienced and also very talented developers like NA10, all the other automation platforms, people that just know how to maybe even code. So if you're going to go to a business and approach it with something new, not only you have to like start from literally zero, you have to be like, okay, if we are doing this project, we literally need to start from zero, and you have to map out the entire process from zero. You have to just learn everything. You have to figure it out, and it's going to take you like significantly longer, and it's going to be significantly less likely that you're going to deliver proper value to a business. And if you know anything about me, and perhaps after those two videos that I just posted, that I'm here for building a real business and a real value to like that can be added to the company. So if you're going to try to reinvent the wheel and create something new, you may succeed and maybe you're going to be in a blue ocean, but it's less likely to happen than if you were to just approach a business and replace. So here's what probably most agencies are doing. Where you just approach a business, let's say this is your client, and you literally ask them like, hey, would you want to automate something with AI? And they say, yes, let me just automate something with AI. So you literally approach and you put the AI in their business, and you upload, you just connect some AI, you build an automation, and it's supposed to work, but it's not working. And people very often are just like, why is it not working? And they are just in this endless cycle of like, why is it not working? I'm so frustrated. What's going on? Like debugging it. And especially it's happening with developers. I see that happen because they are very like technical and very intelligent, like analytically people. So they are always like debugging the code. They are always like iterating the prompts, and they are doing all that, and they are using their technical skills, right? So they are locked in this like development mode, and they are just over and over again iterating. However, if you are building an AI project, and if it sounds like you, if you are in this stage where like, what on earth is like going on? I'm just struggling to iterate the project. I'm just struggling to iterate the prompts. What the fuck is going on? How can I like actually deliver in this project? Listen, think about first principles. Obviously, if you know what the definition of the first principles is, I don't need to explain to you, but for those who don't know first principles, it's pretty much just boiling something down to unquestionable fact or statement of truth, right? Like say, just probably most of my audience is technical. So let's say principle of math, first principle of math would be 1 plus 1 equals 2, right? Like you cannot really argue with that. If you get this wrong, there's not much else you can do with math. So look, if you think about it, if we are talking about building something that is replacing a human, or like pretty much, I wouldn't say just empowering human, because we are using AI, what we essentially do is we have a proven system that is already working, right? Let's say this is a system, and here you have your feedback, and here you have your environment, and let's say the system is working and connected to like many other systems. So if you're approaching a business problem, like if you're building any sort of automation, and if you're just looking at a system that you want to recreate, think about the fact that very often what is literally going on is you have a problem or a task on the previous version. Then what's happening is this problem to a task goes to a human, and that human has some info, right? 997 school community. and then he uses that info to just solve, right? So look, if you think more like, if you have a more broad like view, what you're trying to replace is a human that has some info and some sort of like step 1, 2, 3, and 4 to do something, to take this problem and to actually solve it. So if you're struggling to deliver your AI automation, instead of perhaps banging your heads against the wall, iterating prompts, debugging your code, which is also like, developing an AI project can be hard because there are a lot of technicalities, but don't forget that if you've been trying to iterate for so long, you've been trying to just maybe debug your code for so long, or like build something. I mean, I don't think many people are doing custom code projects, but if you're just hitting your head against the wall, but I can tell you that with my business partners, we were just struggling, like literally in this phase, like banging our head against the wall, like literally. You developers will understand. I'll not even say anything about the fact that if you're stuck on developing a project and you are just trying everything and nothing is working, like the people are actually developing the projects, you guys will get us. So but for those that yet to deliver their first project, you'll soon understand. So what you need to do is, instead of looking only from the technical lens, look from a very like wider lens. So yes, you are trying to build AI to like replace it, but don't forget that you are building AI to replace like some human task, or like empower the human task. So instead of banging your head against the wall and just trying to technically build a project, what you should do is literally go to that human or to the company, literally go them and prepare and ask like a Google Doc with a list of questions, right? So just prepare a lot of questions that will help you to understand, first of all, the nature of the problem, the nature of the task that you're dealing with, what the human is doing, what does the human know, and how he's applying his information in a linear, like step-by-step manner to actually solve the problem. Because very often what you will find is that if you're going to, okay, we're getting to technical details. I was like working on an AI project, and what we were doing is we were pretty much just hitting our head against the wall, like trying to iterate a prompt, like trying to find new solutions, like prompting it out. But then we stopped and we literally thought about, listen, like we were trying to recreate what humans are doing so they can do it on a way larger scale and a lot of value to a business. So why on earth are we just limiting ourselves to thinking about AI? We literally went back to the company, and we thought about that without interviewing. We just thought from the lens of human, and we literally asked ourselves, okay, what does the human know? what info do they have, how do they apply that information to solve this problem or a task and actually get it done. And we literally in probably like 1 to 2 days made more progress than in last like 3 weeks. I'm not even kidding you. Like, we've made more progress in 1 and 2 days of just thinking, what are the first principles? Like, it's just very often when you're trying to replace somebody that is like doing something in a company with AI, it's literally they have like just a problem, then there is a human in the equation. That human has info, right? And then the human is actually just applying steps, and then you just have the result, right? So if you think about it, this is the first principle of just doing anything in a business. I mean, you could probably question and just boil it out further, but just for the sake of simplicity, let's just assume this is the first principle, or at least very close to the first principle. You just literally have a task or a problem, a human that knows something and applies this information in a like step-by-step manner, and then you have the result. So if you just map it out, literally, you can go to a company and ask, hey guys, what are you doing like step-by-step? What do you think about? How do you use it? Like, what info do you use? What things do you look out for? And again, then just actually literally map it out and then just turn it into either, if you're using like a very basic LM, I don't know what automations you're doing, literally just go out and apply AI prompted based on that, and you will very likely solve it. And if you solve the problem, you're gonna keep your money because you will not have to refund people, and it's great. So if you're struggling to just deliver on technical projects, or if you're just finding it hard to deliver AI automation projects and actually make them work, just think about this graph. I thought about it lately, that if you're selling AI, very often you will have the technical skills, right, to just build something, but it's one thing to know how to build something technically and one thing to actually build it, right? Like, you can know how to put out Lego sets, right? You may be a very talented Lego, I don't know how we call those Lego engineers. I don't know. It's been a while since I've dealt with Lego. I'm getting old, but literally, if you are just putting up if you know how to put up Lego blocks, it's completely different than putting up some beautiful sets if you've never done it before, right? So if you are approaching a business and you're trying to sell them AI, and you actually want to approach them, you can either create something new, right, which has never been done in the business, which you'll have to start from zero. It will open a very big like opportunity for a blue ocean. It will, however, it's just going to be harder, and you are more likely to go to a business and like literally replace something or empower. I should just add empower, right? Because you can just take what humans are doing and either replace that with AI or add more AI and build an infrastructure that allows them to like do 10 times more. That's what I'm doing personally for for the real estate industry. And literally, if you replace something and you just get some money for it, and then you try to build it, and then you bang your head against the wall, instead of trying to fix it technically, literally boil down the process of first principles, that you have a problem or some task, then you have the human, like the employee in the company, then the human has some info and some sort of methodology of applying that information, and then you get a result. So if you just manage to pretty much map it out, like how the humans are doing it, you can ask them questions, you can interview them, or you can literally just think from their perspective, and then you actually package it out in some well developed AI infrastructure or AI prompt. You will have a way better success, right? Probably because you will actually think from first principles, and you will use you will recreate what is already working. It's way easier to just recreate something that is working and just make it better or faster and add a huge value to the business, or that rather than just creating something new. Because keep in mind, if like a business is already like running some sort of operation in a certain part of the business, let's say, I don't know, they have certain sort of, let's say, I don't know, custom email follow-ups for the sake of an example, and they are already doing a certain process and it's already working. If you apply well-crafted AI, you can just 10x or 20x the input. So what is great with AI is, especially if you're not replacing but empowering something, let's just say you have a company that has a like very basic system, right? And they have, let's say, like input, which is like the human, then you have the process of their writing follow-ups, and then you have pretty much just email delivered, right? And then from that you have like a conversion rate of like respond rate, So you have RR, so respond rate, and then you like this system is, let's say, I don't know, converting at like if you're working with more of like let's say local, or sorry, online business, and let's say it's converting at like, I don't know, 4.5%, right? And you have a 4.5% like conversion rate of this system. If you literally come to the business and you say, hey guys, let me just ask this guy a lot of questions, let me just map everything you guys know and how are you actually doing it all, and then let me just pretty much put some well-created AI with my technical skills, and then let me just literally, like, let's say 15x, I'm horrible at drawing, 15x the volume, you're gonna make them a lot of money. Like, if you're properly going to do it, you're going to bring them a lot of money into the business, and out of that money, you will get some for yourself. And I gotta buy the thing for drawing because this mouse is horrible, and you're just gonna get some money as well. So it's a very, very, yeah, great thing to do. Your way, like, to just add some value, and it's gonna actually help the business. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not pretending to be some guru. I'm just showing you the lessons I have learned. So it's gonna be useful for people wanting to like run a business, go about, use their technical skills to build an AI agency. Because keep in mind, it's like, if you know how to code and you know how to build projects, that's one thing. But if you want to start an AI agency, there are like way more skills you need to have. So, but you can always learn them, right? If you learned technical skills, you can learn the other skills that are required for running a proper AI business, right? I mean, a small AI business. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you're struggling to deliver AI automations, perhaps you're trying to build something new, and perhaps you should switch to something. Okay, no. I'm taking that back. Try to iterate that first, and don't hop, because you need to stick to things. But if you're, let's say, if you are logically creating something new is hard, perhaps you should start with like replacing something, map out how the people are doing it, and yeah, it perhaps is going to help you. So yeah, perhaps this video was useful to you. Unfortunately, no info to pitch you yet. So I will right now look more of like a YouTuber than a course guru. No, but I hope you're gonna get value out of those videos, and I hope you're gonna find them useful. And I'm not pretending to be some guru. I'm just showing you all the lessons that have helped me in my agency, and just documenting journey at the same time. So perhaps, yeah, it's gonna be useful for you. Take care.